What's good, everybody? It's the Clown with Cap Show. Shout out to the Phoenix Suns. Yes, they're the most surprising playoff team to me yet. Obviously, shout out to Devin Booker. I honestly think Devin Booker is definitely a future superstar. Is he better than Kobe Bryant? Look, let's not jump the gun yet and say, look, this kid's going to be better than Kobe. Let's pump the brakes, okay? Kobe was in the league at age 18. Man, I might even be wrong. It might have been 17 and, almost like turning 18. So let's put the brakes on the Kobe comparisons about him being better than Kobe. Stop it. Obviously not right now. Has a lot of work to do. But look, dude, this guy's legit. And to me, it really goes through, what are the Phoenix Suns? Who are they going to show up? And to me, when Devin Booker puts on a performance, it seems like all the role players play great. We have to understand Chris Paul's been out a couple games, due to this COVID protocol. I believe sources are saying he was around someone who had COVID. But to me, overall, I'm telling you what, the Phoenix Suns are definitely the hottest team in the playoffs right now. And obviously behind them are the Hawks. But I'm telling you what, Devin Booker, he's legit. And we saw in Game 2 what happened. Booker dropped 29. Obviously, he threw the game-winning alley-oop to Bridges to win the game. Now, I don't blame coaching on this one. I don't blame Tyronn Lue. Obviously, Tyronn Lue's the champion. Won with Cleveland Cavaliers as the head coach in 2016 when they were definitely underdogs facing Golden State. But look, dude, for me, it was just like, obviously, Phoenix, they only have like a little over a second to shoot the ball. So obviously, they're going to go, for an oop in that situation. They're taking it out right at half court. So to me, it was one of them things where it's like, look, what are they going to do? Maybe towards the three-point line a little bit. But overall, it was definitely well coached by the Phoenix Suns. It is, dude, and what they're doing right now, the Phoenix Suns are a scary team because they have the chemistry, they have the leadership, and when CP3 comes back and plays, I mean, it's the sky's the limit, and I do think they're going to beat the Clippers. Obviously Kawhi's been hurt, he's out. And really what's left is Paul George. And to me, there was opportunities in Game 2 where the Clippers should have won this game. Really, though. And I understand most of the game they were down, but, they got up for a little bit, got down. It was just really sloppy, really. And that's really what I describe the LA Clippers as, just a sloppy team. They just don't do the fundamentals really great. To be a great basketball team, no matter at what level, you have to do the fundamentals great. And I just feel like the Clippers, they started to slip up late. They really did. And even this inbounds, it's like, obviously everybody knows they're going to go for the oop, right? I mean, if you understand basketball 101, oop it up to the biggest guy. And that's what they did. And boom, they took the lead and ended up winning the game, which was crazy to me. Shout out to Bridges for the game. I cannot believe it. But overall, definitely the Clippers are out. I do think they're out. Obviously, if we're betting on the hottest team, it's definitely the Phoenix Suns. CP3 is going to be coming back, and I think CP3 is really going to be energized, to have had a couple weeks breaks off. Obviously CP3's been in the league since 05, 06 time. So, dude, almost 2 decades in the league, man. Shout out to CP3. Obviously, I think he has one of the best IQs that basketball has ever seen, ever. Shout out to Chris Paul. I hope he gets his championship ring. Obviously, he hasn't had it. It's been a long time, to even get to the big game. So to me, CP3's 2 games away from the NBA Finals. This is great, and I hope CP3 does it. Obviously, CP3 has a Hall of Fame career in my book, looking at it from that. So shout out to CP3, shout out to the Suns. I'm telling you what, they're going to beat the Clippers. Now we have a different scenario here. We have the Hawks and the Bucks. Yes, the Bucks beat Brooklyn, which I was really concerned. Brooklyn was my second team to win it after I was wrong yet again with the Lakers and LeBron. Hey, you can't win them all, right? You know what I'm saying? So, it just ins and outs, so it happens, You're not always going to get them right. It's just part of the game. We take it as I lead, but I'm telling you what, man, the Hawks are a scary team as well. We have another young cat in Trae Young. Trae Young has been snapping off. In Game 1, he had 48 points and 11 assists. I mean, this is kind of unfair. What Trae Young does great is off the pick and roll. Pick and roll basketball, doing that, and that's really what he's great at, dude. And that's what we saw last night. A lot of that, obviously, Giannis only had 34 points. Only, I should say, right? Only a double-double. He had 12 rebounds. But looking at it from who has more skill, I definitely would say the Hawks a little bit more. I would just say a little bit, obviously, Milwaukee and Atlanta, they both have great role players, just like every other team right now. Obviously only 4 teams left in the NBA playoffs. So I think, all these teams are left in the playoffs definitely have good fundamental players, good role players, players that come off the bench, hit you a three, players to do things that you need to do the dirty work. That's what they're great at. So to me, it makes sense. It makes sense like that. So to me, but Trae Young and the Atlanta Hawks, I'm telling you what, who would have thought the Atlanta Hawks would get this far? Let's be honest here. Not a lot of teams really thought that. People were saying the Clippers since, the beginning of the season. That makes sense. I'm not real worried about the Clippers right now. They're down 2-0 right now coming in. So who's really looking bad right now? Without Kawhi, it's over for the Clippers. I'm sorry, guys. It is. I see the Suns maybe sweeping or winning in 5. I really do. But back to the Hawks-Bucks series, I do believe this will probably go 7 games. Just like the Bucks, in Brooklyn went 7 games. I do believe it could go 7 games as well, dude. I really do. It's just they had the same type of mentality. They're going to score. They're going to hit their open shots. They're going to get it down to their big man. That type of things. But Trae Young, he's the X factor in the series. If Trae Young goes for over 40 points a game in this series, you can mark it up. The Atlanta Hawks will win in 6 games or less. Now, if they hold Trae Young to under 40 points a game, yes, it'll go 7 games, and it really determines who's going to just have the extra possession here and there. But to me, overall, I'm telling you what, I see the Atlanta Hawks versus the Phoenix Suns in the NBA Finals. I mean, who would have thought out of those 2 teams they would be in the finals? I feel like nobody, not even Las Vegas, not even sports betting books even had these guys in here. Not even in the top 3. Yes, they had the Clippers, but they're looking on their way out right now. I'm telling you what, dude, it's going to be great. Looking at it from Hawks, Trae Young, he's a future superstar. If not, he's already becoming a superstar. Same thing with Book. I mean, these guys are young, dude, and I think this is good for the NBA when we're seeing young players coming in and becoming superstars. I really do. I think this is great for the NBA and the league. Obviously, I do believe the NBA is softening up. We all see it. It's not like the 80s and 90s where you could really hack them now. Now it's just like, really, dude, a lot of petty things are happening in the NBA, but I think it can correct it. I really do. I think the NBA can get back to where they're known from. It was the 80s and 90s basketball. Was the rough and tough, hey, I'm gonna shoulder check you, and it'll be a little foul. That's okay. But overall, I'm gonna hit you, dude. This is a rough sport. Now it's becoming a little soft. It's fine. It's the way the game's evolved. Now it's more about, hey, how many threes are we gonna get up? How many threes is Trae Young gonna hit in a game? How many threes is Devin Booker gonna hit? How many assists is CP3 gonna make? The whole game is changed now, and I think, I feel sorry for the big man now. Obviously, big men will always be successful in the NBA. I just think we won't see as many more moving in the future. I'm saying like 10, 15 years down the road now, and I think that really started with Steph Curry, dude. I really do. Back in 2008, 2009 era, started to come into the league and really present himself like, look, dude, you don't have to be big and strong to be in the NBA. You don't have to be the fastest guy. You don't have to be the strongest guy. But if you're able to shoot better than the bigger guys, hey, 3 points is better than 2. So I'll take that all day, every day. That's what they're thinking, dude. Seriously, but shout out to Trae Young and Devin Booker. I hope these 2 do meet in the NBA Finals. I think it would be great for the NBA. I do think it'll bring more viewerships in the NBA. I just think the NBA just needs to stay away from the politics a little bit. It's like, dude, this is, professional sports here. We shouldn't be getting involved with this other stuff that's going on in our society, which is great. I'm not blaming the NBA players voicing their opinions. Yes, they can do that. Freedom of speech. I'm just saying when every NBA player and organization comes out and has their comments on political views, it's like, come on, dude, let's stick to business here. Let's stick to basketball and what we know great. Now, other stuff, you can voice your opinions, but, when you're with the team and with the crew and with your teammates, just stick to that. You know what I'm saying? I feel like we're kind of getting off track on certain things like that. And I think that's kind of hurt the NBA in a way, where we see these type of people, these type of athletes, saying some crazy stuff, off the wall shit, right? And it's like, dude, you're making about $10 million a year while, the average U.S. citizen makes less than $50,000 a year. You know what I'm saying? So who's the real complainer here? Why are certain NBA players complaining about, oh, this isn't right, or, the league needs to protect his players? It's like, really? You know what I'm saying? Go back to the 80s and 90s, bro, when they weren't protecting their players, when they played for peanuts. Nowadays they're playing for millions of dollars, bro. You know what I'm saying? So can we catch the waves here and understand what I'm trying to say? You know, like a big difference here. You know, it's only a sport. It's basketball. This isn't like fighting. You know, we're not punching each other in the face till we break a jaw. You know, so that's my opinion. But look, I got the Hawks. You know, but I wouldn't be surprised if the Bucks do win it. I do believe this series will go 7. Like I said, if Trae Young scores over 40 points a game, it'll go 6 or less. And I think, you know, Trae Young, one of the hottest kids, hottest basketball players right now. I mean, super hot. He can pull up. He can hit any shot he wants, man. When the iron is hot, when it's ready to strike, you strike it. And Trae Young is hot right now. So he's hot. He's on a heater. I like the Hawks, and I obviously like the Suns, baby. The Hawks and the Suns in the NBA Finals, baby. It's the Cloud with Cap show. Let's go!